I just want to find 11,780 votes.
The Fulton County Grand Jury investigation of Donald Trump.
What proves fact A, fact B, and fact C? If we can do that, I'm going to bring an indictment.
I'm Bill Rankin.
I'm Tamar Hallerman. Join us for Season 9 of Breakdown from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Listen now, and please follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Today on CityCast Chicago, one of our favorite episodes this year was a love letter to a Chicago Hall of Famer, a Chi institution, a Windy City classic. You know I'm talking about Harold's Chicken. No shade to my West Siders, but I'd argue it's the restaurant that resonates most with Black Chicago. We talked this summer with writer Shakia Taylor, journalist Ariane Nettles, and former franchisee Brian Brown about the charm and the legacy of Harold's Chicken. It's Friday, December 30th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is CityCast Chicago.
I did a whole photo shoot up in Harris. People were staring at me like I was crazy, but it was so much fun. I'm like leaning on like the table and like pointing to like the chicken. It was fantastic.
I'm going to start off with a couple like nostalgia questions for both y'all. Shakia, I'm going to start with you. What's your order when you go to Harold's, my G?
Well, I'm a transplant, so I had to learn how to order when I moved here. So every time I go, I order the same thing. 6 wings, fry hard, extra mild sauce. There are no mistakes in the order because I order the same thing all the time.
Who taught you how to order Harold's?
When I was at Loyola my freshman year, my homie, Big Ken, took me to Harold's on 87th and Van Ryan. And I had to kind of like watch people order. It was like, you know, like jumping double dutch, right? Like I'm watching, I'm like rocking back and forth, like, okay, it's almost my turn. And I listen to people order and they don't play around. You spit out the order. There's no pleasantry. There's no small talk. They don't want to hear that.
No menu gazing.
No menu gazing. They know what you want or get out of line. So, I watched a few people and I hopped up and I had my money in my hand and I spit my order out. And the cashier must have known that I was new because she was like, "Good job." Like,
yeah, she knew. She was like, you with it. Ari, what's your go-to Harold's order?
You know, recently I've really been like vibing out on the lunch specials at certain locations. And, you know, like from 11 to 3, you know, if you get in maybe by 2:50, you good. And it's for the lunch special, you can either get wings or you can get chicken tenders. So I like to switch it up, right? Like, oops, surprise. But also I feel real healthy because that's a 4-wing instead of the 6-wing that I really want sometimes. So I'm like, oh, I'm being very healthy by getting this 4-wing. But I think it's really funny. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you were practiced because I definitely sent somebody that was a transplant to Harold's for me one time. And, you know, they were in line like, so what is this? Oh, this Obama tea? What is this that you sell? And the lady was like, can I take your order? What's your order? Baby, what's your order? So I'm just really glad that you came prepared and that you got, you know, the kudos because
I'm going to say, if you are a native and you send one of us to Harold's, please give us instructions. Don't have us out here looking bogus.
Yeah.
Getting kicked out of Harold's.
Don't send us off.
Right? Like
we follow the instructions given. Like just read it. Like just read it from the text message. Don't even deviate. Just.
Yeah, I got to go in there. I got to give me an 8-piece fried hard, salt and pepper. I need extra mild sauce. You need to put the mild sauce on the fries first, then drop my chicken on it, then do another round of mild sauce. If I get it back and some of this mild sauce or some of this chicken looking ashy, I'm going to ask for more. I'm going to ask for more.
Jacoby, which location are you doing that at?
I ain't even lie. Most recently, 74th to Stony Island. A family friend recently got a Harold's over there, and I don't miss words. At this point, I'm 30 years in. I know how I like my Harold's. I know y'all make it a certain way, but I like it a certain way.
Jacoby, I'm just really glad that you have at least one place that will do that very complicated order, because I would maybe not suggest you do that on 130 Homestead. Like,
I know where I'm at when I'm giving it.
I was definitely gonna ask you, like, where you get away with that.
I just, maybe want you to just ask for extra on the side, and you can pour it how
Hey,
you
I'm
like
gonna try. They could tell me no. They could tell me to get up out of there, but I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna tell you no.
I mean, you could try. They just not
I'm
gonna
gonna tell
do
you
it.
no. Don't embarrass us. Like,
right, you gotta order
Can you put it on the fries, and then can you put it on the chicken as well? If they say we don't do that no more, I say I understand, but I had to ask.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
I ain't gonna get rude with it. I ain't gonna get rude. I actually talked to Brian Brown. He's a former Harold's franchise owner. At one point, he owned 4 Harold's between East Chicago and Indiana, Dalton, Riverdale, and Evergreen.
Each Harold's Chicken, takes on the identity of the community that it serves. Because you know how people are in Chicago. They say, well, my heroes do this, our heroes do that. They take ownership in the community heroes, and we got truly involved in the school system. In terms of being able to, kids bring their grades in. We giving them dinners, for the parents and the kids that got good grades. And we really, really got involved in the community, and it was great.
I think that's the thing, right? Like, it is significant. Like, it is ingrained in us, right? Like, Harold's is special when you get it on a Friday night. Harold's is special when you get to have it at lunchtime. Harold's is special when you have a graduation, a birthday party, a family reunion. Through high school, my parents lived in West Pullman, and the Harold's is on 127th and Halsted. Even as it has changed management, when I go in there, the man that was selling DVDs when I was 12 years old, and now I'm almost 37, is still in there. And when I come in, he's like, how you been? How your mama? She was in here the other day. Your little brother still at college? Oh, he graduated, right? And so it is a community, even in
it's not like a McDonald's. It ain't no Burger King.
It's not a Popeyes,
different.
right? Like,
exactly.
Black Chicago loves Harold's Chicken. That's our own. Like, if you go to the West Coast, it's Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. If you go now to Houston, it's the Turkey Leg Hut. Harold's Chicken has been an iconic Black-owned franchise in our community since the 50s.
It's regional, but it is something that means more than just something that we eat.
Shakia, this story is more than just of, the success of a chicken franchise. It's really the humble beginnings, a great migration story in some ways of Harold Pierce. Can you tell me a little bit about who this man was?
Harold Pierce is, Ariana said it best, a Black Chicago story. We all have roots in our people migrating from the South to the North. My family is a part of that. They moved from Mississippi and Alabama to Chicago and Ohio in the 50s. That whole moving to the North, looking for a better life. That was Harold Pierce's story.
What did he open Harold's with? They say $800 and
a
fryer.
And a fryer, yeah. Like, man's was, resourceful.
This thing really popped off. And I think I was always really interested in also how Harold Pierce thought about the other people when he decided to kind of franchise. Like, you got the Harold's name. I'm gonna make sure you get this chicken. You're gonna have the quality chicken.
Yep.
But kind of what makes it unique is up to you, right? And how Chicago is that, right? Like, take it, run with it. We all family, but do you?
Shakia, was he like a celebrity in these streets? Like, when he pulled up, did people know, hey, that's Harold's? That's him.
He did become a celebrity. So the Chicago Defender has some amazing stories, right? So Harold Pierce was called the Black Chicken King. So that logo for Harold's, it goes beyond just the chicken shack. Like, he was legitimately known as the Black Chicken King. People would wonder where he was when they didn't see him. For a brief period of time, he moved away from Chicago. and people thought he was dead. And like, there was an article, like, actually, I'm still here. I just moved away for a little bit, you know. And he talked about how important it was for him to be of the community, for people in the community to know where he lived, for people in the community to have access to him. And I thought that was like just so Black, right? I think it was just important to him, not just that a business be there, but that it thrive, that it become its own thing separate from him. I always talk about the pictures of Harold Pierce that are in the restaurants. Like, those are the ones that you're supposed to know, like, this is a legitimate Harold. Mm-hmm. And I never
always felt like the Jesse White picture at the Secretary of State's office, DMV.
I compared it to, like, you know, the pictures of MLK and Malcolm X that you see in like a Black church or your grandparents' home. Now we've added Barack Obama to that. Like, that's
and here, Harold Washington.
Yep.
We got a lot of Harold.
We got some dope Heralds. Mm-hmm. Well, Shakia, after Harold Pierce dies in the late 80s, I know that his wife, his children, his business partners continue it. Was the business able to keep thriving when, you know, the Black Chicken King was no longer here?
The business did keep thriving, but they had an issue with like counterfeit Harolds, if you will. His daughter as recently as, you know, the last 5 or 6 years has been trying to fight this, but there were restaurants popping up calling themselves Harolds, and they weren't actually affiliated with the family corporation in any way. And, you know, so it's like
same logo, they was just ripping the trademark off, or just the name?
Absolutely. Nope. They were ripping it off completely. Mm-hmm. And I think that became a trademark issue, right? Because you don't know who has what licensing to what thing. And sometimes it's just common use. They've been using it so long, it belongs to them. And that became a big issue after he passed.
How do you tell a counterfeit from the real thing? How do you know if it's legit, though? Because you could just print off a picture of Buddy and put it up in your stove.
So now Harold's Chicken Shack Corp has a website, and they list where their actual franchises are. I think that's probably the best thing they could do, right? But I also think that's kind of cool in a way, right? Like, I'm not for ripping off people, but if you think about it, for your name to be so synonymous with fried chicken and mild sauce in your community that people are like, I'm gonna just slap this label on it and say that's what it is. Like, that again is a part of how significant Harold's is as a brand, independent of the food itself and who actually makes it.
I have to ask, with so many out there, some that are legit, some are not. Ari, what's your favorite Harold's?
I mean, my go-to is going to be 103rd in Halstead. Mm-hmm. It has, even through changes in management, it's been pretty solid, right? When Kanye's Through the Wire video came out, I was at school at Florida A&M in Tallahassee, and we were literally, like, me and my friend was, you know, like, we were trying to get some little, you know, some cheese sticks after dance practice from footworking all night. We look up at the TV screen and we see this video, and they are in Harold's. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, y'all, like, that's us. That's where I be. Like, that's where I get my chicken from. So I think that kind of has like a lot of significance. But again, we all know 87th, even though, you know, they had to move over into like the little express locations, it is a favorite. It's still also a late night favorite for me because they're quick, they're fast, and they're fresh. And that's just kind of hard. Normally you got to kind of, you know, give one or the other with most places, right?
So many people got their favorites, but that when people would post a picture, when people would talk, the image a lot of people conjure up in their head is that Dan Ryan spot. Shakia, what's your go-to location?
87, because I live on the north side. I don't eat Harold. Like, I'm not getting Harold's from my north side place. Like, they exist.
Good idea.
They exist. People always like, Shake, where on the north side can I get Harold's? And I go, on the south side? Like, what are you doing? Nah.
You gotta leave. You gotta get up out of here.
Get out of here.
So we gotta put them on blast then. Where's the worst Harold you ever been to?
Wilson. Uptown.
That's the one by Simone. So she can't go there. You can't
Sorry,
go
Simone. Just come hang out with us.
there. You gotta bring your ass to the South Side. All right, so Wilson up in Uptown. Sorry, y'all. Ari, what's your worst Heroes experience?
This is a bit of a controversial topic in the Black
Oh
community,
no.
but I think that it's important for us to have it. I think we need to be honest and we need to be real and we need to admit that the Hyde Park Herald is not a Herald. We
53rd
have
and
to be real.
Woodlawn.
We have to be.
President
We
Obama,
have
you
to
can
be
take that with
honest.
you, dog. I'm sorry, that's cap,
Exactly.
Obama. It's
It doesn't
cap.
even have mouse sauce. It's barbecue sauce,
They
right?
don't even
Which
got
is,
mouse
hey,
sauce.
barbecue sauce is okay, but that's not what a Harold's is, right? And I think we just got to be real because, you bring that up, people want to support it, but it's clear. It's not even the same color. It's not even that red mild sauce
Nah, G.
color. It's brown, okay?
The funny part is it even shocking that that's OBZ favorite one? Right? It's a political answer. It's close to him. I want to believe in my heart that he know it's not that one, but he ain't want to
Yeah,
be
I
like
would
I'll be
also
over
add,
Dan Ryan. But he probably he probably rock with that one legit.
yeah, I also add that, a lot of places in Hyde Park say that they are his favorite. And do we really know that to be true?
Maybe he never said that. Maybe he never
Right,
said he just down the
I
street
haven't
on.
heard the clip, right?
In your 20 years that you've been here, right? We've seen Herald's, some of the locations kind of come into the new millennium with TVs and different setups. Some of the ones in the South Burbs they ain't got the iconic bulletproof glass and the vending machine. But overall, has Herald's lost anything in your lifetime? Or is it still chugging just as popular with the same kind of, flavor and taste as always?
I feel like my Heroes experience has been the same for 20 years. Like I don't feel like anything's changed. Someone is probably harassing me in the parking lot. Like that's authenticity. I have been in Herald's where somebody's rapping. That's authenticity. Like I appreciate the bulletproof glass. Like I don't think anything has changed. And I also think it has been consistently passed down from generations at this point, right? Like I feel like my little cousins know how to go to Harold.
I have to agree, we've held it down, right? Like it still feels the same even when it looks different.
Well, Shakia, I appreciate you writing that piece on Harold's and Ida. The reception looked dope. And Ari, thank you for coming back to City Cash Chicago for your 5th time so we could all share our favorite Harold's memories with one another.
Oh, yes.
So glad to be here with y'all. Two of my favorite people. I'm glad. Let's go to Harold.
Let's go to Harold's. Before I let you go, I got to give a huge thank you to the people who make City Cash Chicago possible. Lead producer Carrie Shepard, thank you. Producer Simone Alisea, we appreciate everything that you do. And newsletter writer Sydney Madden, seriously, I couldn't do this job without you, my G. I want to especially thank the producers who stopped by and worked with us throughout the year. I got to thank the people who make the music we love listening to. All the Kimonos, Mark Greenberg of the Mayfair Workshop, and my boy Sam Thousand. And of course, my last, I think my biggest thank you is for you. For spending even just a small fraction of your year with City Cash Chicago. Making this show, y'all, has been one of the true privileges of my life. I've learned more about my city in the last year than I could have ever imagined. I had the coolest conversations. I visited more neighborhoods, curious and ready to learn. I've met new people, and for the first time in a long time, I let myself really feel and receive the love so many of y'all have shown us this year. I hope you're having a great holiday season. I'm wishing you a happy new year. I'm gonna talk to you next year. Peace.